Okay, well, I already blabbed a little bit. Hi, my name is Lisette-Anne. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm joined today with the wonderful Alessandro Ferullo. He's based in London, UK, and he's a QiQong master slash teacher slash student, he calls himself. And we're going to talk about today a bit about the Chi energy. I already explained about the Chi point, which is located in the under tummy, and that's where you get your energy from during the day. It's also called the second chakra. And Alessandro, so tell me a little bit about your Qigong practice and what you do. You've got a website with healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, you start. Okay, can you hear an echo?
Yes, a lot of echo.
You put headphones on. Is that better? Is that better?
Yes, that's way better. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so explain a little bit. So thank you for explaining where the main energy point is. And actually, in Chinese, this is called the dantian, just below the navel.
Okay.
Where we store our energy. And this is our, if you like, internal energy. So when we practice Qigong, yoga, Tai Chi, it's cultivating our internal energy system. Mm-hmm. And often people can look quite healthy externally. And I remember even at university having a teacher who was very healthy, and he was playing squash one day and he died on the squash court, and I was really shocked. I thought, God, he was so healthy. But yes, externally he looked healthy. But internally, what do we all do to cultivate our internal energy system? And in Qigong terms, if we ever have a pain somewhere, it just means the energy is blocked. So in the West, we don't have a concept of Qi. The doctor would give you something for the pain, but not address the root of it. In Qigong, we'd have to move the energy, clear it, like clear the stagnation, then the energy can flow. So energy always needs to flow.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Well, you know, it's like having standstill water in a pond. You know, it has to flow to keep up the good energy and keep up the health of the pond.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically the same with you know, because where there's stagnant energy in the body, that's where, you know, your potential lies for diseases and blocked energy and muscles that tense up and everything. So it's all about flowing of the energy.
Yeah. And just to explain a bit more, we have our own Qi system internally, and then the energy around us is nature or God or source, whatever we call it, it is there. So if we can connect with it, then we can connect our own energy with the universal energy, and helps to heal us, keep us in good shape. But often as humans, we tend to be a bit cut off. So cut off from the heavenly energy and the earth's energy. So in Qigong, we reconnect to the earth and get nourished by the earth's energy, and also to the heavenly or source.
Yeah, it's a bit what I do as a Reiki master with heaven and earth energy, and as a angel therapy practitioner. You know, I connect also with the angels and to Mother Earth to combine both energies.
Yeah, exactly. So very similar, and I think a lot of healing practices are the same. Qigong is about 1,000 years old, so it's a very ancient and very easy to learn. And the form I teach is like a self-healing form, so very easy to learn. And during the call, we can all get a sense of this energy later on when we've explained a bit more.
Okay.
Have you witnessed, felt yourself?
Okay, what personal proof, experience of Chi chakra have you witnessed, felt yourself? No, it's not an ignorant question at all. No, there are no ignorant questions. You know, it's absolutely perfect that you're asking.
It's a very good question.
Yeah. So, Alessandro, would you like to take that question?
Yeah, of course. In the beginning, we need to gather our energy to the center, like we mentioned, to this area below the navel, cultivate it. and then the energy can start circulating around the body. And there are different chakras in different systems. Some people say there's 7 chakras. In Qigong, there's, I can't remember how many, but lots coming down the front and up the spine. So it's called the inner cosmic circulation. The energy usually coming down the front, then going up the spine, coming back down. That's the circulation. And often it can be blocked somewhere. So the main 3 energy centers, I would say, are the upper dantian in the middle of the head. If you go in from the third eye to the center, then the heart center and dantian. So these 3, I would say, are the main ones. And often in the practice, we can sense the energy coming down, moving down, collecting, then coming up the spine. So this is kind of quite advanced, but it's good to have the awareness. Because often people, like Lisette was mentioning, like a stagnant pond, a lot of energy is stuck up here. We think a lot mentally. So how do we get the energy down is the key to calm the emotions. And most health and healing happens unconsciously in the unconscious mind. Consciously, we can think things, but 95% happens unconsciously. So in Qigong, often we switch off the conscious mind, connect with the energy, let the energy work, and it reorganizes the whole energy system. And just to mention, the other day in my class, somebody came for the first time, and they described it very well. We were just holding an empty ball, which we'll do later on, just to get a sense of it.
Okay, yeah, cool.
And he said during the practice, he felt all his internal organs went to their right place.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay.
And that's a beginner. So I thought that's a great description, because in Qigong, everything goes to where it belongs. So each internal organ has its own energy field, but often they're a bit messy. So what if they could have more space and each one goes to its right place? The mind is clear, body is grounded, and often it's the other way around, that the mind is a bit muddy and the body not quite grounded.
Yes. And do you also with QiQong work with the 5 elements, and that every organ has their own wake up time, so to speak? For example, many people wake up around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, because that's when the liver jump starts. It wakes up, and many people wake up because sometimes the liver is so clogged or blocked with energy. When it really jump starts in the morning, people tend to wake up around that time, and sometimes it's hard to fall asleep, and it takes about, an hour or so maybe to fall asleep again.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you wake up at certain times, there's a whole rhythm, and it will indicate an organ is out of balance or in balance. And what's interesting is at certain times of year, like now spring is coming, so it's a wood season, and that activates the liver more. So sometimes people can get more emotional upheaval, depression, anger is related to each internal organ has emotions. So what we would do in Qigong, we would do a practice for the liver, which is often like standing like a tree. So you work on the wood element, you benefit the internal organ.
Okay.
So it's a whole system, and it works very interestingly and makes sense.
Okay, brilliant. So, and you're going to share with us an energy exchange, or
So what I'll do is I'll stand. And
do we all have to stand up, or can we just sit down?
You can do it sitting, but ideally, if you can stand, it's better, and I'll explain why. Just for a moment.
I will.
You can't see my face very well, but then you can't see my hands. So let's see.
I'll try and sit here.
So just shake the hands a little bit. Often the fingers relate to all the internal organs, and also to the spine, to the senses. So in Qigong, we keep the fingers as active as possible. If you have problems in the knuckles, in the fingers, it reflected in the body. So if you had some arthritis, anything, it's probably something in your spine. So we can heal the body through the hands.
Okay.
And if you do reflexology, you can heal the body through the feet as well. So shake the hands.
Okay.
And then we just drop the arms and the hands face each other and empty the armpits. Imagine a balloon under each armpit.
Yeah.
Hands face each other with this thing sticking here. So normally in Qigong, we don't have this microphone.
No, it's all right. I can see you.
So hands face each other. Open the fingers, soften up the fingers, relax the wrists, empty the armpits, and just imagine holding a ball in front of the body. So we can go underneath the ball. Imagine a very smooth ball here.
Yeah.
Go around it smoothly, just carefully. Round it. Hands face each other. When the hands face each other, this is a good starting place. So if you really sense between the hands, we feel we can't push the hands together.
All right.
So we should be able to sense something. And sometimes in the beginning, people can't quite, it takes a while. But go around the ball slightly differently, carefully, one hand above, one below. So the ball is one of the simplest meditations, if you like. Now we're doing it with the eyes open. And come back. So holding the ball here. And if you move the right hand to the left, then you feel the ball like pushing the ball one side to the other. And then this is how Tai Chi came out of Qigong, because it's a spontaneous, you connect with the energy, then the ball moves and you follow wherever it goes, and it becomes a quite nice, graceful movement. So you often see people in the parks following the energy like this, but one hand feels connected to the other.
And do you keep your feet at the same spot, or do you also move your feet like in Tai Chi?
In the beginning, keep the feet at the same spot, but when the hands are well connected, then the feet can move, but the feet always connected to the hands. So many people who practice Tai Chi can physically do it, but they can't sense the Qi. So I've spoken to many people who practice but can't feel the Qi. So the main thing is feel the Qi first. Then, so if we come back here.
Okay. And
So,
if for example, if someone wouldn't be able to feel the Qi ball, can you make the ball, I mean, maybe start like with a little ball and then you feel it and then you expand on it?
You can, yeah, you can.
Okay.
It's better to start about the width of the body, otherwise it's a bit squashed.
Oh, okay.
Because when we hold the ball, the energy is open here, it's flowing down to the earth.
Right.
It's flowing around. It's flowing around the shoulders, up and down. So this is containing everything. If it's a bit squashed, then it's cut off somewhere. So in the beginning, we start here. But we can make the ball smaller, and then at the end, when the ball is quite small, you face towards the lower abdomen, and you put the ball inside we call the dantian. Just rest the hands closed, one hand inside the other. And then you can sense like a warmth building up here, and it's cultivating the Qi internally. So that's just a very simple, I don't know if, did you sense, Lisette-Anne, something?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you know, my hands, whenever I do energy work, you know, I'm a Reiki master and things like that. So yeah, when my hands are just, you know, radiating, and the energy just beams out of my hands. So yes.
Wow, good. So sometimes people who've never sensed the energy in their life, you just show them this, they can feel it immediately. And that's what happened to me 25 years ago. I sensed this energy. I thought, what on earth is this? I need to look into it. So 25 years later, still looking into it.
We've got a question. What does it feel like? It feels very, for me, personally, it feels like it can feel warm, and it can also feel like little pins and needles in my hands. And then when the energy pours out, I specifically did not put on any rings today because I knew we were going to have an exercise with Alessandro. And sometimes my hands get so warm and my fingers get so wide and so thick, so to speak. So I won't be able to take off my rings. So that's what I feel. And then when I put in the energy, I literally, like, it's pressing on energy into my body. And then the energy goes all the way down to my legs and all the way up in my body. And it feels really very lovely. It's a really nice, warm, kind of fuzzy energy feeling.
Great. Well, you practice, so you describe it very well. I think in the beginning, if you feel nothing, you just do it again, go to a class, you will sense it. I remember that my first 2 years, my hands were freezing. So if they're cold or you feel nothing, often a lot of damp energy in the body, cold energy has to move out.
Yes.
So that's why we do some other exercises to clear the energy. And the main exercise we do in the QiQong is bring all the heavy energy down to the earth. Then the pure energy is uplifted. So
how do you do that? You take the energy and then you take the energy down?
Yeah, I'll just show you.
Do we join you now? Because then I get up again.
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
But basically, you open the whole body, the arms go up to the sky, and then the energy is pushed down the back of the head.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Just to the front, to the back, down to the feet. So all the time, you are pushing the energy from the top down to the bottom. And our energy, as I said earlier, is often too high. So we're just reorganizing, pushing it down, pushing it down.
Yes.
And many people have, problems with, the mind thinking too much. So it's a very good, I can show you a very simple one to do at night, or if we feel upset emotionally, is you just move the energy from the front to the back. Front to the back. Often too much energy is at the front. Even a headache is just energy stuck here. So you do this with a headache, hangover. I'm sure most of you don't get hangovers, but if you do.
No, we never get hangovers. We're very, very good people.
But this is very good. Hangover and clearing emotional problems, working on the computer a lot.
Okay, lovely.
I had one man who had, he was bald, and he used to do this 50 times every night. He was 75 years old, and then his black hair started growing again. So
really? Oh, that's brilliant.
I mean, I'm not making claims, but different things for different people. So he had his hair growing. So
this is like at the end of the day, you say, like. So what could I do in the morning? Is I don't want to drink coffee in the morning, and then could I do it the other way around, so that I put my thinking cap on, so to speak, or I don't know.
Not the other way around. I mean, if you do it in the morning, you can do it a bit more vigorously this way, but still it's clearing the head, getting ready for the day.
Oh, more vigorously, but it's still the same, from the front to the back.
Yeah, always front to the back,
Okay.
Front is a bit muddy usually, so we always clearing it to the back, and that's a good one to do.
Okay, very nice.
And in the mornings, before getting up, actually often mornings people get up very quickly, and often they leave their energy behind a bit. So then coffee, energy drinks, all these things. So in the morning, one simple thing you could do is you put the left wrist on top of the right wrist.
Right.
Just where they meet, always left on the right. And just for a minute or so, rest them on your dantian, lower abdomen.
Oh, okay.
And this is gathering the energy together before you get going. And often we tend to leave the energy behind. That's why we wake up and we're exhausted because we rush and leave things behind. So this is quite good.
You can still do it when you're in bed. You're laying in bed. Okay, and then you just put your hands like this, and then on your tummy.
Yeah, left on the right. And best if you sit on the edge of the bed before getting up. So you sit and gather together. Then you get up. Everything is gathered together. And if you feel out of sorts, your emotions, anything, left on the right. It's a
brilliant
exercise.
That's lovely.
Go on. Sorry, go on.
No, yeah, you're sharing such lovely news with us. You know, it's brilliant. You know, I'm really hoping that people who are live watching are, you know, enjoying this. I am very much and hoping that the people who will be seeing the replay will be, you know, enjoying this too.
You
I
can
hope they.
read, there's so much to read about it. And in China, they have Qigong hospitals where
Really?
they have terminally ill patients often who've been sent home to die, no hope. They go to a
Yes.
Qigong hospital. They practice Qigong. They don't eat for maybe a few weeks, 2, 3 weeks.
Wow.
And the cancer dies because you're not feeding it. But the qi is feeding the body. So actually the qi
Wow.
does nourish us. You know, people think we need food and drink, but actually it takes more to digest the food we eat often
Yes.
than the energy in the food. So actually, if many of us ate half the amount we eat, we'd probably
Yes.
possibly live longer even.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is a difference between feeding the body and filling the body, because you know, if you feed the body, it's meant to nourish the body, to give yourself nourishment, to give yourself vitamins and minerals. But most of the time, we just fill our body instead of feeding the body. So there's a difference. And then there's of course a difference in, you know, having like the live food that really nourishes the body, or dead food that hasn't doesn't contain any you know nutrition anymore in it. So
Yeah. And I think when you
something to be
practice
aware
things
of.
like Qigong, when you refine your energy system, you
Hmm.
will probably stop eating certain foods that have zero energy. And you can sense it. Some, you know, kinds of meat, like pork, is very low vibration.
Yes.
And when I started Qigong, I couldn't eat pork anymore, you know, nothing to do with, you know, I'm not a Muslim or anything, but,
No.
and some energy, some animals and some certain meat or veg have much higher vibration.
Okay.
The
We've got a
ball
lot of
method for
questions.
beginners, I would say just come to a class. If you look up, my website is flowinghealth.co.uk, and there's lots of classes in London, Brighton, Canterbury, and on YouTube. If you look me up, Flowing Health, there's videos. You can follow it, and after a while, definitely you'll sense the chi. But best is to come to a class because it creates a chi field in the class.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you're like, what would you recommend to someone who wants to feel notice chi, or the ball method for beginners? It's all practice make perfect. You know, not everyone who learns to how to ride a bike becomes a cyclist in the Tour de France, for example. So it's not like Alessandro became a QiQong master overnight. It's not that I became a Reiki master overnight. You know, it took me years to get where I am today. And that's all about looking up energy, taking courses, taking classes. You know, just look at this is just one out of four bookcases I've got, and I've got many more books. I read all of them, all about different subjects, but also about chi energy. I've got really great books in there about the healing Tao, you know, sometimes especially for women. And it's all about you know, maybe you're listening to this blab right now and thinking, oh, you know, and then you're in a bookstore, you see a book, and then you think, oh, I just heard about it, and then you pick it up, you take it home, you start reading, and then maybe like someone like Alessandro teaches a class. I mean, I know that sometimes you've got these meetups, and even you do parks, right? You do things.
There are meetups, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of places. The main thing is find a teacher and something that suits you. Some people want more martial arts. Some people want, you know, this is quite a gentle self-healing form, but easy to learn, and we can do it at home. But on YouTube, there'll be lots of videos right now
Yeah.
and coming up. And just to finish, one thing about the vision we have for good Qigong practice or good energy practice is that we live our life to its natural end. Nowadays, I think we know many people whose life ends from disease or illness. And wouldn't it be great if we could all live until our natural end without suffering or
I know.
disease?
That would be great.
And that's the vision, and that's what inspires me. So keep practicing, stay healthy to prevent things rather than get really ill and then try and sort things out, which isn't so easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, you have to find some kind of practice that suits you. Either it's like QiQong or Tai Chi. I mean, I know people practice, for example, Aikido, which is, you know, everything also with the Qi energy, with the Chi energy. So basically, you have to find something that really suits you, because when you say, you know, you've done, like, for example, martial arts, that also is sometimes very outwards, very masculine, you know, really putting the energy out there and then sort of wasting your energy. And something like Tai Chi and QiQong and Aikido is taking the energy within and then reusing and recycling that energy. I'm right, you know, I don't practice QiQong, but what's for QiQong. I would write QiQong like this.
Yeah. Yeah, the Americans spell it CHIGONG. Some people KI, but it's actually QI, like you did it.
Yeah.
GONG. But there's lots of styles. I've had people come to my class who were coming to a different class. They had to stand on one leg for 1 hour for many years, and they never felt the chi. So he's very happy to come to my class.
Yes.
And there is a good book I can show you, very good introductory book. You can have a look. The Roots of Chinese Qigong.
Right, yeah, I think you have to type it in because your screen is frozen. You have been frozen for about a minute, so we're not I mean, we can hear you, but we don't see you move.
I'll type it in.
Yeah, type the book in, then, you know, we can see it.
But just to say, you know, we are all
the root Chinese
beings.
Wow, okay, you're fast.
And if we purify our energy or raise our vibration, we attract better situations in life, nicer situations, more luck. You know, maybe people whose energy is a bit messy seem to disappear from our lives, because often things kind of hold us back. And when we actively do something for ourselves, everything is different. So I would encourage people to work with any energy they can, you know? Yeah.
Well, there's a difference between are you acting upon things that happen to you, or are you actively taking part in life and creating your life? You know, there's also a difference in that. Do you keep reacting to circumstances, or do you take a stand and really create your own life, so to speak? Because that is also a different kind of energy, because in that case you go with the flow. You know, you use your own energy and the energy of the cosmos, or the source energy, or the universal energy, whatever you call it, and then you take an active stand and you really start creating your own life.
Exactly. So taking control, and, you know, and another very strong energy, I think, is you know, gratitude. You know,
absolutely.
Wake up every morning, be grateful. Some people don't wake up. Just wake up for breathing. Breathing is a miracle in itself. One Qigong master, he always says to me, it's like le souffle de Dieu, which is the breath of God. And that's a blessing. So to be grateful for everything, even small things, then we attract great things into our lives.
Yeah, well, breathing, it's the first thing we do when we come into this world, and it's the last thing we do when we go out of this world. So that's the breath.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very important. Okay. So are there any more questions? Because we're sort of half an
hour-ish. Yeah.
So if Ed Bishop, maybe you have one last question, or Inga, I don't know who else is on. And if not, I'm just typing in my website here, which is Lisette-Anne.com. And so, Alessandro, I mean, maybe you want to put in your website?
I'll put in, Flowing Health. And there will be lots more videos coming up, and I think we're all using, with Inga's help, thank you, Inga, we're using...
Well, thank you, Inga.
We're using social media, and Lisette-Anne from her little village is coming to the world.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Enjoying the world finally. Yes.
Yeah, we all need you.
Oh well, thank you. Okay, well, thank you very much. I will. The replay will be on soon, and people watching the replay, thank you very much for the patience and watching this. And thank you, Bishop, and thank you, Inga, for watching.
Thank you.
And everyone else watching live. And I'll see you on the other side, Alessandro. I mean, in this live, but on the other side of the Blab. I mean.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay,
Thanks,
take care.
very much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.